Hey everyone, this is George and I'm back with a new video. So I actually waited to release this video for after the release of X-Men Dark Phoenix because I didn't want to potentially cause someone to not see the movie. And I know that's dumb. I'm a small YouTube channel and who cares what I think, right? But you never know who sees your videos, and as negative as the video is going to be, I honestly didn't want to make matters worse, and I didn't want to potentially cause somebody to not see the movie. So after many delays, X-Men Dark Phoenix debuted this weekend and it was basically slammed at the box office. After reading some of the negative comments and watching some videos about how much people disliked the film, I actually thought the critics' biting reviews were a lot kinder to the film than the general film-going audience's comments, that I saw at least. I personally haven't seen the film. I actually never intended to watch it. I really wasn't happy that Fox was going to do another Dark Phoenix adaptation. And even though I do very much like the actors in the film, especially Michael Fassbender and James McAvoy, and I really do appreciate the history of what X-Men did. I was there whenever X-Men was first coming out. I remember the highs with X2, Logan, the Wolverine, but with more and more superhero film adaptations, it always was pretty apparent to me that the X-Men films were kind of falling behind. And to be honest, the only thing that even really mildly interested me was seeing the Grant Morrison and Frank Catelli comics era X-Men costumes. I actually really like those, and I thought they looked kind of cool. That was also kind of a red herring to me about this movie, that maybe it's just probably not going to be one that does that great. Don't get me wrong, I love the Phoenix Saga. I love the Dark Phoenix Saga. I still watch and rewatch the X-Men animated series adaptation, and I still read and reread the comics, so I'm definitely a huge fan of this story and I really want to see it done right. And so I actually feel pretty bad to say this because a lot of people worked really hard to bring this movie to the big screen, but what I really hoped for the movie was that it would have been shelved or maybe just released on a streaming service, and for sure not on the big screen. But let me tell you why. So Fox decided to make this before they were purchased by Disney. They also made the New Mutants too, but I actually kind of want to see the New Mutants. Probably not in theaters, but on a streaming service would be good. That's a story for another video if anyone's interested. So Fox decided to adapt the same story twice, and based on the general consensus and looking at reviews, both were pretty poor adaptations. Fox has been purchased by Disney Marvel. They now have the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, I think some others. So now Disney and Marvel, they have the rights to the X-Men back. They're going to make X-Men films, and they're actually in the planning stages. They're beginning the early scripting, and unfortunately I don't think that the Phoenix and Dark Phoenix story will be one of the things that they're gonna try to adapt. And I say this because if you look at how the MCU has treated Spider-Man, you'll notice they've done a complete 360 from the Sony films. They went out of their way to bring new characters and stories to the film that we actually hadn't seen before. And I think they've done a tremendous job so far, and I really hope it continues with Mysterio and Spider-Man Far From Home. But at the same time, it's painfully obvious that they're avoiding what's been done before. We didn't even get to see Uncle Ben and hear the greatest Spider-Man comic book line of all time: with great power comes great responsibility. And I know there were actually some viewers who were actually probably pretty happy to not have to see that again, but for me it is something that I sorely missed, and I wanted to see this from Tom Holland's Spider-Man and his MCU films. And so I think when it comes time for the MCU X-Men pitches and brainstorming, I think the Phoenix, Dark Phoenix story, and probably even Days of Future Past will probably not receive MCU adaptations. And this is pretty sad to me. X-Men Days of Future Past is my favorite comic book storyline of all time, and the Phoenix, Dark Phoenix saga is a close second. And I would love for the MCU to take a swing and adapt these stories, but from what I've seen, I'm not sure it's ever going to happen. Of course, things can and do change all the time, and hopefully I'm wrong, but if I'm not, we may never get to see the Phoenix adaptation from the MCU that I think a lot of us would love to see, and I think that would be pretty disappointing. So let me know what you all think. Am I blowing this out of proportion? Did you see the movie and want to try to convince me to check it out? Did you dislike it and want to share why? Do you think the same thing could happen to Doctor Doom, the Silver Surfer, and Galactus in a Fantastic Four reboot? Let me know in the comment section. And if you enjoyed the video and want to see more comics content, subscribe for more and hit the like button if you liked it. And as always, thank you so much for watching.